quick, please. Madam Chair, thank you for the opportunity to come before you. And Diga, why didn't you turn this report to the Board of Trustees or to the public? It's very disgraceful that we would have to find this on our own. And the very thing that I'm sure when the Chancellor spoke at that meeting, I remember very clearly when he held the interview, he said there was some, I don't want to put words into his mouth, but basically he was saying there was some kind of hanky-panky. There was bid rigging going on. There was no hanky-panky. There was some criminal behavior going on. Board, wake up. Stop collecting paychecks from the donors. Do your job. Hold and Diga accountable. We talked about this, Kelsey, during the Exeter contract on the role of the general counsel and the chancellor informing the board so you don't have someone like me embarrassing you at a meeting and then you make me the enemy. When your enemy is right there, she should have given this up. And this is just the rated PG, because I'm sure there's a XXX version of this stuff because this is terrible. So let me read my comments to the record. Chancellor Rodriguez, shame on you. And Diga, shame on you. Executive senior staff never informed the trustees and the public regarding the explosive revelations made by the bond monitor and not Rolando on July 2nd, the report of bid rigging investigation. That is so sad. We had my friend Jose Huizer go to prison for corruption, and we're talking about that very thing here now, Sarah. Wake up. Wake up and don't give me that look, okay? Any decent public organization would have brought in the authorities and throughout the entire process for the sake of transparency and fairness. I still recall the chancellor briefly making some statement about some hanky-panky, but he definitely downplayed the significance of the allegations because he never mentioned the word bid rigging. I strongly believe had he mentioned bid rigging, the board and the public would have reacted in horror, okay? On top of this, bid rigging, now we have 5 of you members on the Board of Trustees who have violated the Levine Act. Google the Levine Act, everybody, okay? And this now makes you ineligible to vote for that contract. So what are we waiting to throw it out? What are you guys looking at over there? Be looking at me when I speak. I didn't come over here just for you guys to look at your, whatever you're looking at, okay? Now, the worst thing here, now that the chancellor's gone, we're gonna see who really runs the district. And it's Steve Veras. Everything that went to hell in this district has been because of him. And I'm telling you guys right now, don't be scared of him. If you're scared of him, don't run for your reelection. Put me on that board and I'll show you how to deal with this person, okay? Don't let him bully you guys. And James McKeever, I don't want you to follow me up and say how great everything is, because there ain't nothing great going on in this goddamn district, especially when you have bid rigging for a $10 billion contract. Jesus Christ. Next issue? I have one more issue, right?
Time is up.
Oh, no, but I have another issue, or did I come back?
You have another issue that's,
Yeah. Public speaking, public comments. Want me to come back?
for agendized matters?
Yeah,
or
agenda
not?
matter.
Isn't that part of the same 3 minutes?
I'm talking about G6. Don't be giving me those eyes.
How much longer does he have? Is the time up?
3 minutes. How much time do I have?
Isn't it the same 3 minutes for all?
Well, the rules were
Or
not
not?
read clearly. They tell you about everything else except the rules like everything else,
We're
Ms.
gonna
Henderson.
defer to the general counsel.
Okay.
So G6 is the resolution for the emeritus title for the chancellor. And so that item is on the public's agenda. I believe Mr. Cuevas was commenting on something that was not on the agenda.
I was speaking to the chancellor's report. Because the chancellor gave that report at the last board meeting when he didn't he mention that, Ms. Diga? I think, forgot what meeting it was. Whenever the interviews were gonna be, he said that there was some kind, I don't want to put words in that guy's mouth, period. But he basically alluded to something happening. Remember that? I'm sure you do, because I remember it. I'm sure it's somewhere in the video.
Now- So now he wants to speak
On a second item. So,
Do we allow another?
so again, there's always opportunity. If it's not on the agenda, he has 3 minutes on that, in that not agenda area. If it's not on the agenda, G6, he's identified for speaking 3 minutes on the resolution.
Okay, Madam Board Secretary, can we start the clock?
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. Diga, and thank you for Fairness Board of Trustees. Okay, regarding G6 as the Chancellor's resolution, okay? The board resolution for Chancellor Rodriguez shall read in the following: the worst chancellor in modern times, massive sexual harassment cases never addressed, resulting in $10 million in lawsuits and counting, spending millions and millions of dollars in legal fees to protect a sexual predator and a bully like Steve Varys, and other issues, allow massive retaliation against faculty, staff, and particularly women of color, and acted innocent in the process. Okay. Then the second one, we get to my second page. Weaponize the general counsel office by opening frivolous investigation to intimidate us, and also ran a phony whistleblower. I've already had 3 whistleblowers, Madam President, and not one has been dealt with. And you want me to say them in public? Because I will, okay? His actions will result in massive budget deficits in the near future, hire some of the most incompetent individuals and presidents and senior district staff. If the shoe fits, wear it, okay? Hid the important investigation for the Board of Trustees regarding a bid rigging allegation related to the PMO contract. Finally, this investigation caused the chancellor, did this investigation cause the chancellor and other senior staff to resign? I'm just asking the $1 million question, because if you look at the time of the investigation and the times of the resignation, something doesn't smell good here. That's all I gotta say. I don't have the fact, but we should open that record for everybody to see. So we have no doubt that LACCD promotes transparency and honesty in all their contracting, and that there should be no bid rigging for anybody or anybody, period. And I'm sure Steve Varys knew about that, because the chancellor knew about it, and Antigua knew about it. That's the district's mafia. Have a great day. Don't get upset, Stevie. Don't get upset.
Go away, please.
Where do you want me to go?
You're done.
Thank
Where do you
you,
want me to
Mr.
go?
Cuevas.
You're the one that has misbehavior.
Thank you.
You're the one that misbehaves, Steve. You can't bully me.
Mr. Cuevas,
Okay,
I'll leave.
Board President,
I got it. You
please
can't
reduce
bully
this
me.
time.
On the item C,
For the record, Ms. Diga, the gentleman just spewed a bunch of lies and accusations on the table. I know we announced at the beginning of the meeting about being liable. I think if we could send him correspondence, to ensure that these kinds of things can be followed. We have decorum in here. I'm sorry to the entire audience here. This is a person that makes it a habit to come to these meetings, and most of what's and we gotta have some order in this room. So I asked for the floor.
Mr. Cuevas, please. And you.
Mr. Cuevas, the trustees are able to speak at their own meeting, so please allow Mr. Varys to finish his comment.
I think just for the, we read it into the statement. If we need to,
Yes.
be sure to include, because much of this statement was defamatory and against the policy we just read into the record, that the president read into the record. So I think it's important. We obviously want to make sure all the public has an opportunity to speak, not just one individual continuing to violate board rules and the rules that we stated at the beginning.
So noted, Trustee Varys.
Thank you, Ms. Speaker. On to item C, the Los Angeles Community.
Madam President, we have one more speaker. I'm sorry. It's on G7, Paul Medina.
Ms. Medina?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Honorable LACCD Board of Trustees, Chancellor Rodriguez, Deputy Chancellor Berg, academic leaders, and esteemed guests. My name is Paul Medina, a proud student from East Los Angeles College. Go Huskies. I've previously had the privilege of representing this district as a student member on the Board of Governors for the California Community Colleges system. Although in the past I've attended several LACCD Board of Trustees meetings, this is my first time addressing your board and general public. And it is with deep respect and gratitude that I stand before you today to bid farewell to an exceptional leader, Chancellor Francisco Rodriguez. Chancellor Rodriguez, Your dedication to student success, equity, and innovation has made a lasting impact, not only with me, the Los Angeles Community College District, but across the state and throughout the nation. I remember attending statewide events like CCLC conferences, and when you took the stage, everyone in the room felt your energy and passion. Fellow student trustees would ask, wow, who is that? With pride, I reply, that's my district's chancellor, Francisco Rodriguez. I have so much to say, but since it's kind of limited, I'll leave you with this. Chancellor Rodriguez, you've been a beacon of hope for students like me, a non-traditional first-generation son of immigrants who grew up in a single-parent household, and for students from diverse and marginalized underrepresented communities. Under your leadership, doors have opened for countless individuals, giving them the tools and opportunities to thrive both academically and professionally and personally. As we say goodbye today, we all recognize the profound impact you've had on our lives. Your legacy of inclusion and excellence will continue to inspire generations to come. There will be many great LACCD chancellors in the future, but there will only ever be one Francisco Rodriguez. Chancellor Rodriguez, I wish you success and enjoy your next chapter. Never forget the LACCD, because the district, especially the students, will never forget you. Buena suerte y gracias por todo, Chancellor Rodriguez.
Thank you. Now on to item C. The Los Angeles Community College District recognizes that we occupy land originally and still inhabited and cared for by the Tongva, Tataviam, Serrano, Quiche, Chumash peoples. We honor and pay respect to their elders and descendants, past, present, and emerging, as they continue their stewardship of these lands and waters. We acknowledge that settler colonization resulted in land seizure, disease, subjugation, slavery, relocation, broken promises, genocide, and multi-generational trauma. This acknowledgement demonstrates our responsibility and commitment to truth, healing, and reconciliation, and to elevating the stories, culture, and community of the original inhabitants of Los Angeles County. We are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work and to teach and educate on these ancestral lands. We are dedicated to growing and sustaining relationships with Native peoples and local tribal governments, including, in no particular order, the Ferdinand Tataviam Band of Mission Indians, the Gabrielino Tongva Indians of California Tribal Council, the Gabrielino Tongva San Gabriel Band of Mission Indians, the Gabrielino Band of Mission Indians Quiche Nation, the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, and the San Fernando Band of Mission Indians. Before we proceed, Deputy Chancellor Burke, are there any changes to the agenda or order of business?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. We would like to pull two items from the agenda today, Y10 and Z1.
Okay, colleagues, Y10 and Z1 are being pulled from the agenda. May I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda in order of business with the requested amendments?
So moved.
Moved by VP Eno. Second by VP Hernandez. Madam Board Secretary, roll call, please.
Student trustee Bayham's advisory vote.
Can you come back to me, please?
Trustee Buelna. Trustee Henderson.
Yes.
Trustee Hernandez. Trustee Hoffman.
Yes.
Trustee Eno.
Yes.
Trustee Vella.
Yes.
Trustee Vettis. Trustee Bayham.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. Now, may I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting and closed session meeting from September 11th, 2024?
So moved.
Moved by Eno. Second by Hernandez. Roll call, please.
Student trustee Bayham's advisory vote.
Yes.
Trustee Buelna. Trustee Henderson.
Yes.
Trustee Hernandez. Trustee Hoffman.
Yes.
Trustee Eno.
Yes.
Trustee Vella.
Yes.
Trustee Vettis.
Thank you, colleagues. Now on to item D. We have a special presentation, including a video greeting from Korea for the Hangul Day recognition.
Good afternoon, Trustee Henderson, Dr. Burke, and trustees. October 9th is Hangul Day, also known as the Korean Alphabet Day, which is now officially recognized here in Los Angeles, thanks to Councilmember John Lee, who was here but had to leave. I would like to thank and introduce Professor Mickey Hong and Professor Lian Hu who head the Korean program at LACC and have been instrumental in expanding the program and establishing key partnerships domestically and also abroad in Korea. Professor Mickey Hong has grown the LACC Korean program into the largest North America program in the last 25 years. She is partnered with Andrew Lee and the Jaeseon Imperial family, who have generously funded the King Seongjong statue on our campus at LACC. And then also LACC hired Professor Lee An-yu, who last year, after teaching for 12 years at Korea University in Seoul, has just joined forces with Professor Hong to expand the program and the curriculum to include Korean history and culture. These phenomenal faculty on our campus are true leaders who continue to impact our community here on campus, but also globally. So I would like to invite them to the podium to share a few words.
Thank you. I returned from Ghana on Monday, so I'm a bit jet lagged. Hangul Day commemorates King Sejong, recognizing and solving the problem of the people not being able to read, to inform themselves, and right to express themselves. The LACC Korean program has become what it is today because in 2001, Professor Gwen Hill, a Black woman, the chair of what was then Foreign Language and Humanities Department, had a vision. Less than 9 years after the LA civil unrest, she hired me as the first full-time Korean professor at a community college in California. She believed that the only way Angelenos can understand one another is through education, learning about each other's language and culture. My participation in the All African Diaspora Education Summit in Ghana was my way of paying back and paying it forward. We must all help each other to succeed and advance together. Hangul is an invented alphabet. King Sejong's innovation was to make literacy possible for all people of all class, not only the elites. LACC Korean program's mission is aligned with the purpose of Hangul. We are the largest and the most equitable because our goal is to deliver Korean education for anyone who wishes to learn.
Thank you. And just to add on to what Professor Hong mentioned, so I think that it's a rather auspicious sign that today is not only Hangul Day, but falls on the same day as this board meeting. Hangul Day, or the Korean Alphabet Day, is a major holiday in South Korea and actually in North Korea, but it is officially recognized as a result of Councilman John Lee's efforts. So we want to thank him especially. We also want to thank Andrew Lee and the Imperial Joseon Dynasty family, because with their generous contribution, we were able to erect a statue of King Sejong. And Sejong is the king who is responsible for creating the alphabet back in the 15th century. So this is something that Koreans are very proud of to today. And as a result of having that statue on our campus, Sejong City, which is a city about an hour south of Seoul, the capital, they saw the media coverage from that and they wanted to reach out to us. And so they reached out to us, visited our